road jerseys. Come to midcourt. Sean Bairstow gives a fist bump to Petritis, and we are underway at midcourt as we await the starting lineup. Vern Harris with the opening tip-off, controlled by the Air Force Falcons. Only the 5th time this year that Utah State has lost the opening tip-off. So the Falcons moving left to right. Petritis slings it left. Hands to number 24, Mills. Mills now on the left wing. Gives it right back up top to Ethan Taylor. Taylor waiting for Mills to come and collect. Gets to the elbow, stops, picks up his dribble, kicks it right to Petritis. Petritis trying to drive, picked up by Ashworth, so he slips it left to Mills. Mills gets in the left low block, needs to do something with it. 1 second, 0 seconds, and how about that? Air Force does not get a shot off on their opening possession. Shot clock violation.
Yeah, that's a good sign for Utah State. Them staying down defensively, being willing to run out the clock with Air Force and force them into a shot clock violation.
Ryan Oda mentioned in the pregame that Air Force would rather take a shot clock violation than take a bad shot. It allows them to get their defense set. They don't want to get teams going the other way in transition. Funk gives it to Shulga. Shulga takes the three off of the curl, misses it. A nice offensive rebound, put back missed by Dorius, gets his own offensive rebound and puts it up and in and draws the foul. Trevin Dorius showing off a serious height and weight advantage in the blocks.
Yeah, that's what he needs to do. I mean, this is a chance for him to have a field day, to go ahead and go be strong, grab some rebounds and put it back. It'll be a good thing to see if he can get some confidence from this game moving forward.
Dorius coming off an 11-point performance in the game against San Jose State, but dealt with foul trouble early in the second half and really diminished his ability to make his presence felt there in the second half. Free throws up and good. Aggies with an early 3-0 lead over the Air Force Falcons as Mills brings the ball down the court, directing traffic, leads it to Petritis, kicks it left as Air Force working it around the horn. Now in the low block to Becker. Becker then swings it up top to number 3, Heidbreder. Heidbreder to Petritis, down to Mills. Mills tries the reverse layup and gets it up and good. Jeffrey Mills gets the first bucket for Air Force, and it's a 3-2 game.
See, and that's what they look for, to get your defense out of position. Taylor gambled on that one. They were patient, got down the block, and get it in for a layup.
Stephen Ashworth on the left baseline. 3-point line extended. Pump fakes the three, driving baseline. Gets caught up in the air, hands to Funk. Funk then dishes to Bairstow. Bairstow back to Funk. Floater with the right hand is up and good.
There you go. That's great ball movement. Moving the ball around to get it in for an easy bucket in the key.
Taylor to Heidbreder. Heidbreder to Mills. Slip it to Petritis outside the 3-point line as the motion offense, this Princeton offense, gets to work here for the Falcons. Mills on the left elbow, hands to Taylor, then rotates right, back to Mills, then to Petritis. 10 seconds now on the shot clock. Air Force needs to get to work. Petritis outside the 3-point line, gets around Bairstow. Floater over the top of Dorius will not go, but they will call a foul on the drive, and Petritis will be shooting free throws.
See, this is where I think Dorius doesn't trust his length. He tries to get into the body of Petritis instead of just making it a tough shot to shoot over. It'd be a good game for him to stay out of foul trouble and find a way to be an impact player here.
Rytis Petritis, who in Mountain West Conference games this year is averaging 11 points a game. First free throw is good. One more coming up to try to cut the Utah State's lead to 1. Coach Odom describes him as a young Justin Bean, always making the right play at the right time. Good length, good shot, and hits his second free throw.
Yeah, he's a versatile player. He's a guy that you can put on many spots on the floor. You can tell he's tough, he's hard-nosed, he's disciplined. He's going to be a great player.
5-4, Dorius with the ball outside the 3-point line. Aggies with a 1-point lead. Down to Dorius, great positioning. Finish that, big fella. One-handed dunk. Dorius has 5 to start the game.
Yeah, he's off to a great start.
Ethan Taylor quickly slips it to Mills. Mills on the left wing. Looking for a cutting Petritis. Instead, hands it back to Mills outside the 3-point line. Posting up on the left low block is Taylor. Taylor going to work against Shulga. Kicks it to Petritis on the baseline. Drives against Dorius. Bounce pass in the paint is stolen away by Sean Bairstow. Cross-court pass from Ashworth back to Bairstow. Trying to drive on Petritis. Puts the floater up. Right hand. Got it to go. Bairstow is great in the lane with those floaters.
Yeah, he is a really tough player. He's a guy that can get us easy buckets, and that's something the Aggies need to focus on tonight, not just be solely relying on their three-point shooting. And they've shown that right up front to Dorius, to Funk, and now to Bairstow.
Aggies with a 5-point lead. Petritis in the lane, and he traveled with it. Got caught up in the redwoods around Dorius. Knew he couldn't do anything with it. Shuffled his feet and gets hit with a turnover.
And Sean's brother, I played against him in Australia. He's in the Australian Professional League, Cam Bairstow. He's a great player.
NBA draft pick. I think just recently finally hung it up and retired.
Yeah, he was impactful for Cairns Taipans over there in Australia.
Ashworth to Funk. Funk then to Bairstow. Cross court back to Ashworth. Ashworth gets a screen from Dorius. Hands to Shulga driving baseline. Attacks the rim. Can't finish, but will draw the foul. And I love seeing the aggressiveness of Max Shulga on that drive.
Yeah, and he came out that way against San Jose State, too. I think if he can keep that up through 2 halves of basketball, he has a lot to offer this team.
Aggies with an early 9-4 lead. Camden Vanderswag set to check in on the next dead ball for Air Force. As Shulga has 2 free throws here. First free throw for Max is up and good. I know Max is upset with himself down the stretch in that game against San Jose State when it was kind of going bucket for bucket. Max missed the front end of a 1-and-1 that had he made it and made the second would have given Utah State the lead, but instead San Jose State able to get the rebound and get points on the other end and push the lead to 3 when Utah State had a chance to take the lead.
And he's a really good free throw shooter, like 81% on the season, so it's tough when you see those, but he's the guy you wanted at the line.
Yep. Shulga with 2 free throws. Utah State with their largest lead of 7 here in this game. Turnaround jumper by Mills is missed. Dorius pulls down the rebound, outlets it quickly to Ashworth. Aggies want to run. Bairstow holds, gives it back to Ashworth, back to Bairstow. Posting up Dorius. Dorius double team, spins out of it, puts a floater up, right hand, and got it. It's Trevin Dorius' night so far. He's got 7 out of Utah State's 13 points. Aggies up by 9 early.
And that's what I said. I think he could have been an impact like this all season. If he just has that confidence to go out and be a dominant player, he has a lot of skill.
Mills, left wing 3, buries it after the pass from Vanderswag, and Air Force snaps Utah State's run. Still a 6-point lead for the Aggies. 13-7 with 15:55 left to go here in the first half. Trevin Dorius hands to Bairstow. Bairstow then to Shulga looking for Dorius. Instead cross court to Ashworth. To Funk back to Bairstow. He'll line up a straightaway 3 and knocks it down. How about that for ball movement?
And the one thing about Dorius now is players are starting to sink in on him, and it's going to make it tough to defend that 3. That Aggies have come out, got easy buckets, and now it's starting to open up their perimeter game.
Vanderswag hands to Taylor. Taylor will rotate left, give it to Heidbreder, who's yet to take a shot. He's a leading scorer for Air Force. To Mills, just hit a 3, takes another one, leaves it a little short, and the rebound pulled down by Max Shulga. Shulga working right to left to Funk. He'll line up a long 3, miss it off the back of the iron. Dorius plucks the rebound, but they're going to get him a foul on the over the top.
And that's his second.
2 fouls on Dorius. If there's one thing that slowed him down tonight and a good course of the season has been foul trouble, he's got 2. That'll probably mean Dan Akin will check in when we come back. Utah State leads by 9, 16-7 on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield.
Watch the golf team walking in, lifting 10-pound weights when I had. Okay, they got.
Back listening to Aggie basketball. Utah State leading Air Force 16-7. Utah State Athletics and America First Credit Union honoring the academic success of USU student athletes. This week, the America First Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Haley McClain from the softball team. All right, how about Haley? We got to give her a little shout out here because Haley is a true freshman on the softball team. Her first time on the mound pitching in a tournament in UCLA Stadium. Gets 20 strikeouts in a win over, I believe, Cal State Bakersfield, correct? Setting not only a Utah State record for strikeouts, but a UCLA Stadium record for strikeouts in a game. Her first time pitching as a freshman with 20 strikeouts. That's a Kerry Wood number, so congratulations to her and the Utah State softball team.
Yeah, it's good to see players handling the big stage like that. That's a great thing to see. Vanderswag
gives it to Carter Murphy, who just checked in, number 4. Air Force can go deep into the bench. They haven't as of late, but they certainly can and have shown the ability to do so. Mills, who's 1 for 2 from 3, gets the ball, kicks it right to Taylor. Back up top to Murphy. Murphy working around baseline, falls down, ball's on the court, tipped out of bounds. It's going to go off of Ashworth, but 5 seconds on the shot clock for Air Force to try to get a shot, with the Aggies leading 16-7.
The thing that's tough for Air Force is Aggies defense is so versatile. They can switch everything, and so it really takes them probably out of the rhythm of their offense where they're used to playing more traditional big players, whereas Aggies can just switch up.
Here comes the inbound, driving, bucket up and missed. Akin pulls down the rebound as Murphy gets the steal from behind against Akin, so he missed the layup, but gets the steal from behind. Now driving, right-hand floater, up and good, gets the layup to go. So he missed it before the shot clock, but got the steal. It's the first Aggie turnover and gets a bucket the other way. That's 16-9 the score.
Yeah, that's the hard-nosed type play that Air Force is known for. They don't give up on plays. They don't stop. They're just disciplined, and that's the way they have to play to even compete in this league.
Akin swings it right to Shulga. Shulga, three-point line extended. Back to Bairstow, who's got a three. Ashworth outside the three-point line, gives it to Funk. Baseline three is up and no good. Taylor continues to struggle a bit from the outside the three-point line. 16-9, Aggies lead by 7. Largest lead has been 9.
One thing I liked about that shot with Taylor, he wasn't thinking about it.
Yep.
And generally if he doesn't think, he goes in, and that's a good sign to see. If he's not thinking and just pulling, he's going to be just fine.
And that's a guy you don't mind taking shots for sure.
Yes.
All right, here comes Heidbreder. He's yet to take a shot, leaves it back for Mills. Mills outside the three-point line, back to Heidbreder. Long three is up and missed. Rebound pulled down by Taylor Funk, who then leaves it to Ashworth. Ryan Odom in the background, you hear yelling, let's go, get down the court. Bairstow down to Akin. Has the ball deflected away, keeps it in play, but tips it to Air Force. And here comes Ethan Taylor in transition. Driving on the baseline is Murphy. Has to give it back to Heidbreder. Driving, attacking off the glass, got it to go. Beautiful bucket. And it's a 5-point game, 16-11. Utah State has made 6 out of their last 8 field goals, but because of turnovers and such, have gone on a scoring drought of nearly 2.5 minutes. Bairstow back to Ashworth. Trying to post up Akin. Instead, they rotate right. Funk then back to Shulga, who drives, stops, takes the jumper, and knocks it down. Ability to stop on a dime is not easy to do.
That's right, and Max is really talented at that. His ability to penetrate, stop, and still have the balance to make shots like that. But again, they're shooting shots inside the perimeter, inside the three-point line, and it's making it tough for Air Force.
Ethan Taylor had good positioning, but decides to kick it back out. Vanderswag hands to Becker. Becker now on the left wing. Leads it to Vanderswag. Vanderswag then over to Taylor. Takes the three, misses it. Bairstow rips down the rebound.
And we're forcing Air Force to take some tough outside shots that they're probably not used to.
Funk takes another three and can't get it to go. 0 for 3 for Taylor to start this game. He'll get it going eventually. He's 1 of 4 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3. And he's a shooter. You just want him to shoot himself out of that slump.
Yeah.
Nice backdoor pass to Vanderswag, who lays it up and in. Heidbreder with the assist. And it's back to a 5-point game, 18-13. Utah State unable to pull away from Air Force here.
That's where Air Force will hurt you. Those backdoor cuts, those off-ball screens that get players moving without the ball. And if you're not fulfilling your assignment, they're going to score those layups.
Bairstow gets around his man, pulls up, takes the jumper, misses it off the front of the iron. Rebound pulled down by Taylor. And Air Force, who at one point trailed by 9, trails by 5. 3-point shot from the left wing. Vanderswag knocks it down, and Ryan Odom wants a timeout. A 9-point lead is now down to 2. 18-16 as we are under our 12 timeout. Utah State leads by 2 against a Air Force team that's not overly interested in going away quietly in this game. You're listening to Aggie Basketball from Learfield.
During a timeout, and it's this.
Utah State leads by 2, 18-16 over Air Force. Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com, easy. Well, Utah State had a lead of 9, 16-7. Since then, Air Force has whittled it down. And currently, Utah State's lead is now just 2, 18-16. Air Force shooting 55% from the field to Utah State's 54. Aggies 1 of 5 from 3. Air Force now 2 of 5 as Utah State has turned it over twice. Air Force 3 times. And the rebounding battle, which you would anticipate would go Utah State's way, has 7-4 with 2 offensive rebounds in this game.
And I think that's the thing with the Aggies this season is they need a player to galvanize them, to kind of bring them together and say, this isn't the way that we play, this isn't what we let happen, and this is a team that we should be dominating here on our floor. And that's what you're looking for at this point in the season.
Bairstow turn around in the lane, can't get the one-hand hook to go, and here comes Air Force with a chance to tie or take the lead. Heidbreder, and they've done this all with Heidbreder with just 2 points, 1 of 2 from the field. Heidbreder gets around his man, then kicks it back to Murphy. Murphy comes around a screen, steps back, leads it left, driving in the lane, spinning, trying to create something is Mills. Mills puts the shot up, leaves it way
Great
short,
defense.
and R.J. Idlerock comes away with it.
Yeah, the Aggies really buckled down there. Now they need to turn it into some offense right here.
Funk,
Taylor,
baseline three, get in there. Yes, sir.
He just needs to keep shooting. Shooter's got to shoot.
0 of 3, no more. He hits the big three. Utah State leads by 5, 21-16. Down low to Becker. Becker up top to Murphy. Murphy then to Mills, number 24. Kicks it back to Becker. Becker on the left wing, hands to Vanderswag. Tries to drive, slips a bit, then swings it left to Carter Murphy. Down in the left low block. Ball tipped away, controlled, bad pass, deflected and stolen. R.J. Idlerock comes away with the steal. Down low to Dan Akin on the right low block. Dan trying to go to work. Spins, puts a shot up, missed it badly. Had a good look, got around Becker, but lost control on the way up. Just a bad look and a missed opportunity for Utah State, who leads by 5, 21-16.
That's been his struggle all season. He's been able to get some good looks. He's got some great footwork down low, but that touch, he just needs to get a little bit more finesse on the ball to complete those little baskets around the hoop.
Becker on the elbow, slips it to Mills. Mills takes the long two and misses it, and the rebound pulled down by Akin. Air Force likes to shoot the three. They like to get to the rim. Mid-range game is not their game. Long three is no good by Funk, who is about 4 feet behind the line and could not get it to go. Air Force with the rebound and the ball going the other way. Murphy, right side, leaves it to Mills. Mills guarded by Funk. Funk comes away and fights for the steal, and the foul is going to go against Air Force as Funk knocked the ball away, and it was Jeffrey Mills who gets hit with the foul and takes the business end of that contact too.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing with Funk is it's good to see that he's making an impact defensively. I want him to keep shooting throughout the night, and those shots will eventually fall, but if they aren't, he can at least do something on the defensive end to make an impact on the game.
And you can tell he was determined on that drive too, like, all right, I missed the three, I got to make up for it on this end.
That's right, and I like that mindset. They're finding a way to be involved, not sink into the background.
Marcel McCrary into the game for the Falcons. Shulga inbounds, hands to Ashworth. Ashworth working around a screen. Works to the left side, finally hands to Funk. Cross-court pass up to Idlerock, then Shulga. Shulga puts his shoulder into Highbretter, trying to go to work, leaves it for Idlerock. Pump fakes the three. Idlerock driving, leaves it back for Shulga. Good look for three, and he knocks it down. Great job by RJ to drive and then kick and get the assist.
That's one of my critiques of RJ is he's turned down some really open shots. He did that against San Jose State, and this one. He made the right decision, but he was still wide open to shoot it.
Layup missed by Mills. Here comes Funk going the other way. Aggies lead by 8 on a 6-0 run. Akin fouled by Carter Murphy on the drive, and that'll be the 14th foul, I believe, on Air Force.
And the one thing is, Akin's running the floor, Dorius is running the floor, and the thing that works for the Aggies is it sucks the defense in and creates more options around the perimeter. If those guys keep running head to the basket, that's going to be helpful throughout the game.
Ashworth will inbound, 25 seconds on the shot clock after the foul. It was Murphy that got hit with the foul. Inbound all the way up top to Funk, leaves it for Akin. Akin weaves it back to Ashworth, who is not taking a shot attempt. Driving, spinning, leaves it back for Shulga. Shulga still with the ball, got to the elbow, then retreats behind the three-point line. Ashworth back to Shulga. They want him to drive. Swings it to Idlerock, pump fakes the three. Pump fakes again, leaves it back for Ashworth. 4-3 layup, and that's a goaltend. Yep.
Yeah.
Corbin Green got a hand on it. He's got 30 block shots, but he won't get to 31. He got hit with the goaltend, and Utah State now their largest lead on an 8-0 run of 10, 26-16.
See, and that's the thing is Aggies got lucky on that one on the goaltend and being able to penetrate. But there's a couple wide open shots that we passed up there that I think that we could look at.
Green going to work, down low, lays it up and in, gets around Akin. Great low post move by Corbin Green, the 6'5", 230-pound freshman from Texas. Got the goaltend on one end, but got Akin in the spin cycle and was able to get a good look and lays it up and in. Snaps Utah State's 8-0 run. Long pass to Funk, who's able to corral it before going out of bounds. Leaves it for Shulga. Shulga on the drive is fouled on the drive, and that will send him to the free throw line with 7:46 left to go in a fun first half. D.L. Evans Bank, big thanks to them for supporting Aggie Athletics, a community bank with local employees helping their communities succeed. You're listening to Aggie Basketball 26-18. Aggies up 8 on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. 8-point lead for Utah State, leading Air Force 26-18. Aggies got out to an early 9-point lead. Air Force was able to cut it down to 2, but Utah State promptly then went on an 8-0 run, pushed it back to 10, and now it sits at 8, 26-18. That's your Aggie scoring summary, brought to you by your Utah pork producers, providing safe and wholesome pork products to Utah families for over 25 years. Visit utahporkproducers.org. Well, the Aggies bringing home the bacon so far in this game, doing well.
Yeah, and I think one thing with Dorius in there that was showing is how the presence of a big man who's creating some offense, how it relieves the pressure for the rest of the team. And I think that's something that's been lacking for us all year. You know, Dorius or Akin could be consistently finishing and putting up numbers. It'll take a lot of pressure off that perimeter play where we're just dribbling around, handing off, rather than just going in for some easy buckets.
So apologies, thought Utah State be shooting free throws. They said the foul was on the court, so 20 seconds on the shot clock, and Utah State will inbound as Max Shulga looking for Idle Rock to clear. Idle Rock gets the ball, gets to the elbow, still driving, gets around Green, and reverse layup up and in. How about that? RJ, with how he's been playing, he deserved a good layup opportunity, and he gets it to go.
Those easy buckets will do a lot for us.
28-18, Aggies match their largest lead of 10, 7.5 minutes left here in the first half. Murphy now on the left wing to Heidbreder. Thought about the three. Idle Rock comes and closes out. Heidbreder still with the ball up against Idle Rock. Tries to take him baseline. Gets around him for a moment, but then leaves it back for Murphy. He'll drive base and lay it up and in. Carter Murphy's had some good moments here in the early stages of this game. He's got 4 points on 2 of 4 from the field.
That's one thing, that one-on-one defense is something that hurt us against San Jose State. We just couldn't stop the penetration on the one-on-one. Something that we need to look at and try to refine as we get later into the season.
Shulga to Funk, who has to slap it right back to Shulga, then gives it back to Bairstow. Bairstow, cross-court pass, then to Shulga. Good look for Dorius. Dorius down low is fouled. Again on the court. That'll be the 16th foul on Air Force, so Aggies close to getting in the penalty. But Utah State gets 20 on the shot clock. Ashworth is going to check in for probably RJ. Nope, Taylor Funk. Aggies playing outside of Dorius, playing a little small ball right now. Shulga will inbound on the baseline. 20 on the shot clock. And Shulga needs to get it to somebody. Finally, RJ's able to collect. Cross court back to Ashworth. Ashworth rises, first shot attempt for 3. It's a little long. Dorius tries to keep it in play. He cannot, realizing he's playing with 2 fouls and concedes the rebound.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That shows a good awareness on his end. We don't need him to get his 3rd foul this early.
Green back to Taylor. Taylor on the right side. Taylor gets to the free throw line, stops, hands back to Murphy. Murphy outside the 3-point line. Dorius steals it away. What a beautiful steal on the anticipation of the pass by Trevin Dorius, who then gives it to Bairstow, back to Shulga.
Yeah,
Shulga back to Dorius. Reward the big man, and he lays it up and in.
Yeah, he's coming out playing with some confidence and some aggression. I haven't seen this player this year at all.
30-20. Dorius has 9. His career high is 12. He's gotten there twice. The latest was against Washington State in Hawaii. Heidbreder leaves it down low to Green. Ashworth is there to knock it away, and it'll go off of Green back to Utah State. Turnover.
I'm sorry.
A turnover on Air Force.
Well, you can start to tell when teams are playing with confidence because they start to have more fun. You start to see some more smiles. You start to see a little bit high-fiving and working out there, and that's what you're seeing from Aggies right now. Let's hope they can keep it up.
Ritas Petrides checks back into the game for Air Force. Utah State with their largest lead of 10, 30-20. Gotten there a couple times, just haven't been able to extend it. Ashworth on the left wing, steps back, takes the baseline 3. Yes, sir! Stephen Ashworth making it rain from the left baseline.
That's the guy. I love his confidence. He's willing to come out and take big shots, take tough shots, put the team on his back in a lot of cases. I really like Stephen Ashworth's game.
Aggies lead by 13, 33-20. Heidbreder back to Taylor. He'll try to get that 3 back, and he does. Right wing 3, knocks it down. Air Force now on the night, they are 3 of 6 from 3, and it's a 10-point game, 33-23.
And with Dorius in the game, even though he's got 2, that's an offensive foul. Saw that coming. Tried to set off screen. This is where he needs to be more aware.
Offensive foul goes against Utah State. Ball will go back to Air Force. And Trevin Dorius gets hit with foul number 3.
And that's the thing that Coach Morrow used to tell Ty Wesley, because he used to do the same thing to us. He'd get in there, get 3 quick fouls, and then put us in a bad place because we had to play without him. So that's one thing Dorius, he's making a huge impact on this game. Now he has to go sit down for a while.
Nice backdoor pass to Petrides, who lays it up and in, and it's back to an 8-point game. Air Force on a 5-0 run. Ziamoda into the game. Leaves it for Bairstow, then to Ashworth. Ashworth back to Hamoda. Hamoda stops, pops, 3. No good. Back iron missed it. Rebound pulled down by Shulga on the long 3-point miss. Aggies with an offensive board, their 3rd of the night. Shulga into the lane, can't get the layup to go. Rebound fought for and finally pulled out by McCreary of Air Force. Good looks for Utah State, but unable to get anything to go. And here comes Air Force on a 5-0 run, cutting Utah State's lead to 8. Taylor driving. Taylor gets around his man. Right-hand scoop shot missed. Atkin pulls down the board. Air Force has had good looks on drive, just can't finish at the rim. Leave it back for Hamoda. Hamoda driving into lane, spins, puts the shot, and lost the handle on the way up yet. That's going to be a jump ball. So it'll go back to Utah State.
Yeah, see, I think that was an interesting call because I think the ball was hit out of his hand in the air. So.
Yeah. So possession arrow will stay with Utah State. Aggies lead by 8 with 4:05 left here in the first half. 22 seconds on the shot clock. Ashworth will inbound and give it up top to Bairstow. Bairstow looking for Shulga, who's going to come around to curl and gets it. Faced up there by McCreary. Steps back, then drives. Leaves it to Bairstow. Bairstow at the left elbow. Hands to Ashworth, back to Bairstow. Aggies look a little out of sorts on this possession. Ashworth with 5, 4, driving, right-hand layup, no good. Tipped up and will go over the back of the backboard, and it'll go back to Air Force.
And the one thing is, Atkins got a guy on his back. You got a smaller Air Force team, and they're unwilling to throw him the ball.
Yeah.
That's something we got to change.
33-25, Utah State leads by 8. 3:43 left to go here in the first half on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Utah State leads by 8, 33-25 over Air Force. Aggies led by 13. Air Force currently on a 5-0 run, and we'll have the ball when we come back. Rocky Mountain Dermatology offers Botox, skin cancer, acne, cool sculpting, and laser hair removal services in North Logan, Utah, providing you advanced dermatology and surgery right there in Cache Valley. You know, I know Stu used to talk about this all the time. How you end the first half and how you begin the second half really sets the tone. Aggies up 8 right now. They've led by 13. If they can push this back to 13, 14 going into the half, you have a lot of momentum. If Air Force is able to cut it to 3 or 4, then they carry all the momentum into the second half.
Right. You don't want to let teams like this hang around because that's where they draw their confidence from. Is if they see that they have a chance to be in it, that's where they're going to push even harder. And so now's the time to start to extend that lead, come out with that same momentum in the second half, and keep them in a place where they don't feel like they can win.
So Air Force will inbound. McCreary will inbound to Highbretter. Your Aggies on the court right now. Ashworth, Hamoda, Akin, Bairstow, and Shulga. And Highbretter will bring the ball down the court. Highbretter only 2 points on 1 of 2 shooting, leading the team in scoring. And he can get it going at any given moment, too. McCreary now on the left wing. Leaves it for number 14, Becker. Becker back to Highbretter. Highbretter, hesitation, then pulls up. Jumper knocks it down. And we mentioned he can get it going in a hurry. And it's down to a 6-point game as Air Force has made 5 out of their last 6 buckets and are currently on a 7-0 run after Utah State led by 13. Bairstow to Shulga, back to Bairstow. Bairstow's had a big 3 in this game. Leaves it back to Ashworth. Ashworth left wing, back to Shulga. He'll take the long 3 straight away. Knock it down. Yes, sir. Max Shulga. He's got 10 points on the night to lead all scorers.
Yeah, he's playing with a lot of confidence, and I really love his game.
Nice pass down low. And a layup for Highbretter.
I look at a lot of these Aggies and like, who would I like to play with if I was out there playing? Not that I could play with anybody right now, but when I could maybe step on the floor a time or two, Max is a guy I'd really like to play with.
Highbretter with the bucket, back-to-back buckets after the beautiful pass. It's down to a 7-point game, 36-29. Ashworth right wing, 3-point line extended. Gets a full head of steam, gets around his man, spins, leaves it back to Bairstow. Bairstow will drive, throw it down with one hand. Sean Bairstow.
Yeah, he's got that in him. He's got that in him. He's done that a time or two this season. It's fun to watch. 9-point game, 38-29. Sean Bairstow. Long 3, left wing. Becker can't get it to go. Shulga pulls it down with one hand. He's going in transition the other way. Does not have numbers. Does not care. Lays it up. Misses it, but will draw the foul. And he'll have 2 free throws coming up. See, this is where after a three-pointer, after a play like that, you want to keep the momentum. And I like that Max was aggressive going to the basket on that. You just need to keep running downhill on these guys and keep building that lead.
Here comes Max stepping up to the line for 2 free throws. 2:07 left in the half. Shulga's first free throw is good. Gives Utah State back a double-digit lead, 39-29, with a chance to push it back to 11. Bairstow, whether it was on the dunk or otherwise, looked like he cut his hand a little bit, ran over to the sideline, got a quick either the magic spray or a little bit of tape, and is good to go.
Yeah, I can't think of a better way to cut your hand.
Yeah. Free throw, both of them are good, 40-29. Utah State leads by 11 after Air Force had cut it down to 6. And Taylor crosses the timeline. Petrides up top to Murphy. Murphy then hands to Becker. Becker inside the three-point line looking for Taylor. Taylor gets it. Caught up in traffic. Hands to Murphy. He'll rise. Fire. 3. Yes! As Air Force keeping themselves in this game with a three-point shot. Air Force now 4 of 8 from 3 here in the first half. It's back to an 8-point game, 40-32.
Yeah, Murphy's putting a good game together here. He's kind of doing a little bit of everything for these guys.
7 points on the night for Carter Murphy, 3 of 5 from the field. That's his first three-point attempt, too. Down to Akin on the left low block. Akin going to work, puts the right-hand floater up, no good. Rebound, fought for and brought down by Becker, and here comes Air Force with a chance to cut into the lead again. Every time Utah State looks like they're about to run away and hide, Air Force says, nope, not happening.
So I don't care if he misses that shot. Those are the things that we need to keep doing. We need to keep going down low, because it at least keeps Air Force honest in their defense rather than sitting on their perimeter game.
Heidbreder attacks, misses.
That's good defense by Akin.
And here comes Bairstow going the other way. Bairstow in transition. Hamoda all the way to Ashworth, then to Shulga. Baseline 3, no good. Hamoda tries to sky for the rebound, couldn't get it to go. Ashworth gave up the 3 to Shulga, who has the hot hand. He's got 10 points, but couldn't get that one to fall. 40-32, 8-point game. Wide open 3, Becker, and can't get it to go. Petrides gets the first offensive rebound of the game for Air Force. And Air Force will call timeout. Joe Scott wants to talk about this most likely final offensive possession for the Falcons. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout. You're listening to Aggie Basketball from Learfield. All right, 38 seconds left to go in the half. Utah State leads by 8, 40-32. Falcons will have 17 seconds on the shot clock. That was the first offensive rebound of the night for Air Force. Utah State has had 3. And here comes Murphy to trigger the inbound. Hands to Becker. Becker on the right wing, back to Murphy. Gives it to Heidbreder. Ball poked away nicely by Stephen Ashworth. It'll go out of bounds, force Air Force to reset the offense with 12 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, that's good. They got him out of their rhythm. They weren't able to execute. They wanted to execute. That's a good sign for us heading into this half. Murphy
inbounding from the baseline sideline corner. Gives it up top to Becker, then to Taylor. Taylor comes around to Becker's screen, pulls up, leaves it back, long 3. Becker is up and no good. And Funk pulls down the rebounds, and the Aggies can hold for the last shot. Now, remember, Utah State had a great opportunity to go up 6 against San Jose, missed the bucket, left too much time on the clock, and Amari Moore hit a 3 at the buzzer to cut the lead to 1. Utah State does not want to leave any time. 8 seconds. Here comes Bairstow, leaves it for Ashworth in the corner. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, Ashworth into lane, attack, reverse layup, missed. Akin puts it up at the buzzer, can't get it to go, and that's how the first half ends. Aggies struggling a bit on end of first half possessions, getting good looks. Ashworth didn't have a good one there, and Utah State goes in the break, leading by 8, 40-32. You're listening to Aggie Basketball from Learfield. Utah State looking for their 20th win of the season. They're 20 minutes away from that, but Air Force isn't going away. You're listening to Aggie Basketball again from Learfield. Okay. Utah State leads by 8 at the half. As we get ready to get the second half underway, let's pause 10 seconds for local stations to identify themselves. This is Aggie Basketball from Learfield. All right, just moments away from getting the second half started. Keep an eye on Trevin Dorius, who's got 9 points, was tremendous in the first stages of the game, but dealing with foul trouble again. And that's been a common theme for Trevin. If he can stay out on the court, he has been a force to be reckoned with. And I love the comparison you made, maybe not necessarily as a player, but as a presence, having to go off the court. Ty Wesley found himself in foul trouble a lot in your run at Utah State.
Yeah, he got that under wraps as he, as he grew with the Aggies his junior and senior year. But as a freshman, coach would always tell him, Ty, you got to be smarter about this. And it really hurt us when he wasn't on the floor because he's such obviously a talented, smart player that he made an impact every game. And I think that's what Dorius is doing right now. He's a guy that's going to open things up for us and make this game a lot easier if he can just be aware of himself and not create those fouls.
Would you start the second half with him on the court, or would you wait a bit?
No, I would come out with him. Yeah. I would come out with him and just say, look, we need that same aggression. We need that same mindset. Just be aware of that stuff.
And the Aggies are doing just that. The starting lineup on the court: Ashworth, Bairstow, Dorius, Funk, and Shulga. As for Air Force, Ritas Petritis, as well as Carter Murphy, number 4, Ethan Taylor, and Jake Heidbreder. Fantastic Air Force team that just will lull you to sleep. Again, averaging about 20 seconds per possession, and usually late in the shot clock is when they hit you with the back door and you give up a bucket after playing 27 seconds of great defense. But here comes Air Force to start this second half.
Well, and that's what they're used to. They're used to taking shots late in the shot clock.
An early shot in that shot clock, though, by Becker is missed on the 3, but you're right.
And if you notice, when the Aggies force them into an early shot, then they haven't been as successful. Their field goal percentages go down.
Down low to Bairstow, posting him up on the left low block. Spins around Becker, lays it up, and gets the layup to go, and Utah State leads by 10, 42-32.
I like the idea of posting players up, and Bairstow's great on the block. Great footwork. Good finish.
Well, that's one thing Air Force likes to post up anybody on the court. They'll post up 1 through 5. Another good pass down low, and a foul is, I think that's going to go against Dorius. Oh, Bairstow gets hit with it.
We got lucky on that one.
Yeah. And that will send Petritis to the line for 2. Again, Petritis is probably going to be your Mountain West Conference Freshman of the Year. And in a very young team for Air Force, he has come on and just flourished for this Air Force Falcon team. And he is going to have a great career at the academy before it's all said and done. Makes his first free throw. Petritis on the night tonight has got 5 points. And we'll have one more coming up.
Yeah, they'll be an interesting team to watch with as many sophomores and juniors that they have to see what they can do in the Mountain West in the coming years.
Back to an 8-point game, 42-34, 19-10 left to go in the game. So we are 1 minute into the second half. Stephen Ashworth comes around a screen from Dorius. Kicks it back up top. Funk takes the 3, 2 feet behind the line, a little long, excuse me. Dorius is able to get the rebound, put it up, and get the end one. Trevin Dorius, holy smokes, gets the offensive board. He's got 11 points with a chance to get to 12.
That's great, and that's exactly what you want. That was a great finish. That was one of the stronger finishes I've seen from him this year, where he goes through the contact and is able to complete the play.
Trevin Dorius, told by the officials, hey, tuck in that jersey before you shoot a free throw. 44-34. Aggies up by 10 with Dorius shooting a free throw to try to give the Aggies an 11-point lead.
I don't want to jinx him, but he's been looking pretty good at the line too.
Oh,
of course. I know better as a player.
Spencer would be so mad at you right now. He gets after me. Misses the free throw. Would have matched his career high of 12, too. I mentioned not to say that either.
Yeah.
Petritis comes around the horn, slips it to Heidbreder. Heidbreder cross-court pass to Murphy, then back to Petritis on the right wing. Driving, puts his shoulder down, puts it off the glass. No good. Good look, just wouldn't fall for him. Dorius with the rebound. Quickly outlet. Shulga. Now on the left wing. Dorius comes up to set a screen, gives it right back to Shulga. Shulga driving, Shulga attacking. No good, but he'll go to the line for 2 free throws. Nearly got the end one.
That's right. Well, watch the Aggies running downhill. And as they run downhill, they put pressure on the defense and they're able to get to the basket. I wouldn't be afraid to go in again in the lane against Air Force. They don't have much height. You have a better opportunity to finish.
Max Shulga stepping up to the line for 2 free throws. Shulga leading all scorers right now with 12. Dorius right behind him with 11. Air Force leading scorer right now is Murphy with 7. Free throw by Shulga is up and good. One more coming up for Max. Max Shulga, season high, 20 points in the game against San Diego that went into overtime. And right now he is close to getting to 14. And I did not jinx him. I almost did. You could have yelled at me for that one.
Well, I know better than that. I'm a player that I've been jinxed by commentators making comments about my free throws. So
Aggies lead by 12, 46-34. Becker hands to Heibretter. Heibretter to the elbow. Kicks it back to Murphy. Murphy drives, swings it left. Driving is Petrides on the baseline. Did he step on the line? Nope, foul is going to go against Utah State.
That's kind of a tough call, but Aggies have been doing a great job on off-ball defense. We've given up a few buckets, but for the most part, they've been really focused and stayed pretty disciplined there.
Some heavy whistles early. Utah State Air Force, each with 2 fouls to start the second half. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Heibretter inbounds to Becker. Slings it back up top to Murphy. Murphy outside the three-point line. As Becker drives, gets the elbow, gives it up to Murphy, who will then drive in the lane, leave it down for number 14, Becker, who's able to lay it up and in.
Well, Dorius was smart on that one. He could have come in more aggressive, but he backed off, tried to trust his length, and didn't get a foul.
10-point game, 46-36. Shulga driving baseline, attacks, lost the handle on the way up, nearly blocked up, but he's able to get his own rebound, drive, and put it back up and get the foul. He'll go to the line for another couple free throws.
That's what I like about him. He doesn't give up on plays. He's hard-nosed. He's willing to stay with things, and he gets the foul, pays off there.
Joe Scott, head coach at Air Force, not a fan of the call. Vern Harris, and he has some chats at has a chat at midcourt. Shulga's got 2 free throws. Aggies on the court with their starting lineup right now as Max shoots the free throw, knocks it down. One more coming up for Max.
Yeah, Spencer told me that Joe Scott recruited him at Princeton.
Yes.
And then I said, oh, did they get a look at your grades?
Pocatello High School transcript wasn't great. It wasn't good enough. Here comes free throw number 2 for Max, and he is perfect from the line tonight. Max is 8 for 8 from the line. He's got 16 points, 4 off his career high of 20. Heibretter leaves it for Murphy on the right wing. 3-point line extended. Gives it to Becker. Becker then to Petrides. Hands back to Murphy. Driving. Pulls up. And Bairstow comes out to meet him, forcing him to give it up with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Murphy outside the 3-point line will reset. Taylor back to Becker. Working it left to Murphy. Murphy rises. Right-hand floater. Missed. Rebound fought for and brought down by Utah State. Dorius able to come away with it. To Shulga. Shulga lays it up on an alley-oop and could not get it to go. Pass a little high. Could not get the alley-oop layup from Ashworth. Turnover or a missed shot for Utah State. And here comes Ethan Taylor and Air Force going the other way. Aggies lead by 12, 48-36 with 16:54 left to go here in the ball game. Petrides driving on Funk, gets around him, puts it up, missed, but will draw the foul and will go to the line for 2 free throws. As Petrides, again, showing why he's so highly thought of around the Mountain West Conference ranks with a beautiful drive and a finish with the foul.
See, and that's with Dorius not in foul trouble. You'd hopefully trust your big on penetration like that, but you can't risk getting him another foul.
Petrides, perfect 4 for 4 from the line tonight. Shooting into that Utah State student body. No stress whatsoever for him as Reedus knocks it down. One more coming up. 48-37. Air Force trying to get this back to a 10-point game. And missed free throw. Shulga pulls it down. First free throw miss of the night. As Petrides now 5 of 6. Dorius nearly lost the handle. Wants to drive. Did lose the handle. Finally stolen away. And Air Force comes away with it. Cross-court pass to Taylor. Taylor on the left wing, guarded by Bairstow. Leaves it back up top to Becker. Petrides now on the right wing. Back to Taylor. Taylor thought about the 3, instead circles left. And an offensive foul on the screen is going to go against Ethan Taylor after he handed off, created contact, and that's going to go against the Falcons.
Yeah, they had a similar call on Dorius earlier in the game.
Not a lot of turnovers in this game. Air Force with 8, Utah State with only 4. Air Force isn't a team that forces a lot of turnovers, and the Aggies haven't shot themselves in the foot a lot in this game either.
Yeah, they'll lull you to sleep and just make you take shots that you're not used to, but they're not going to put pressure in defense like the San Diego State, or pressure into turnovers like San Diego State.
Ashworth driving, kicks it to Shulga. Shulga works the left side, pull-up jumper, and no good. Dorius tries to fight for the offensive rebound. It's tipped out and controlled by Heibretter of Air Force. 48-37, Falcons trying to cut this back to single digits. Murphy to Taylor, Taylor then to Heibretter. who's now on the right wing. Ball poked away. He's able to recollect near midcourt and will retreat to the U-State logo. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Ethan Taylor, then to Becker. Turnaround jumper is missed, and the rebound pulled down by Funk. Ashworth leaves it for a trailing Funk. Back to Ashworth, then to Shulga. Baseline three is up and a little short. Dorius can't keep it in play. It goes out of bounds off of Dorius, and Utah State gives it back to Air Force. Brings us to our under 16 timeout. Aggies up by 11, 48-37 on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. 48-37, Utah State leads by 11, but have struggled. Only 1 out of their last 7, including 0 for their last 5. Aggies have gone over 2 minutes without scoring. Air Force unable to really make Utah State pay, as Utah State has outscored Air Force 8-5 here in the second half. Did you know 74% of Utahns get prescriptions from a friend or family member? That's why we all have a role to play in prescription safety, both as parents and patients. To learn more, visit knowyourscript.org. All right, so Utah State has gotten 16 from Shulga, who, you look at his shooting percentages, he's 3 of 10 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, but he's perfect from the free throw line, 8 for 8, which has allowed him to get some points. Dorius with 11. Want to see Dorius get a bucket just so he can get his career high. Yeah, I think it sits at 12.
He's on pace to do it, and Max has been a factor for the Aggies tonight.
Aggies out rebounding Air Force in this game, 23-17. Air Force with the ball in their all blue uniforms. Will move right to left after the missed opportunity for Utah State on the missed three-point shot. Petrides comes to the middle of the court, leaves it for Taylor. Taylor then hands to Becker. Becker at the left elbow, back to Petrides. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Air Force gives it to Taylor. Taylor straightaway three, no good. Rebound pulled down by RJ. RJ handling to Ashworth. He'll take that three, and he'll knock it down from the left wing. Stephen Ashworth buries the three. He's 2 of 3 from the three-point line tonight.
Yeah, game after game, he seems to come up with a shot like that where he'll just pull it with no conscience. And at the first, I wasn't excited about it, but as consistent he is with it, it's a fun thing to watch.
Becker will try to get that three right back. He does not. Misses it from the right wing. Dorius with the rebound. Quickly outlets it to Ashworth, who drives into the lane. Leaves it for Funk, but lost the handle. Turnover Utah State. And Carter Murphy quickly hands over to Heidbreder, who will initiate the offense on the right wing. Aggies with their largest lead of 14, 51-37. Had a chance to extend, but Air Force not letting Utah State run away.
Well, it's possessions like that last one where you have the chance to put another nail in the coffin, and they just make a turnover, and that's got to be something that they focus on.
Petrides driving on Bairstow. Bairstow's going to get hit with a foul, who looks over to the official, and the official goes, yeah, you got him. 7 seconds on the shot clock at that point, but reset it to 20. That'll be the 14th foul on Utah State, 4 as well on Air Force. Dorius and Funk are going to check out. Atkin checks in as well as Shulga. So a quick breather for Max. Air Force will reset, 20 on the shot clock. Up top to Murphy. Down low, pass stolen away. Ashworth anticipated that backdoor cut and comes away with the steal. 9th turnover in the night for Air Force. Ashworth, guarded by Heidbreder, hands to Shulga. Cross-court pass to Bairstow, gives it right back to Shulga on the left wing. Looking for Atkin on the post, they get it to him. Up against Murphy, but Murphy gets his hand in the cookie jar, strips it away, but gets hit with a foul. That'll be the 15th foul on Air Force.
That's what they need to keep doing. Just getting the ball down low to Bairstow, to Atkin, to Dorius, and just keep pounding away down there.
Officials have called it even. They called it tight, but they've called it even here in the second half. 5 team fouls on Air Force, 4 for Utah State. Bairstow controlling the ball. Puts the dribble down, gets in the lane, turnaround jumper is up and no good. Missed it off the back of the iron. Hits that shot more often than not, but Utah State again had 2 possessions to try to push the lead to 16 or 17. Came away with 0 points, and Air Force will try to cut into the lead here. Up top to Heidbreder, guarded by Ashworth, gets around him nicely, attacks Atkin, lays it up and gets it to go. And Air Force wants a timeout. Understanding this is a critical point of the game, 51-39, Utah State leading by 12, 51-39. 1 minute timeout. You're listening to Aggie Basketball from Learfield. Aggies lead by 12, 51-39. 13:23 left to go here in the game. Nothing beats the power and excitement of live events like TicketSmarter. For all the best sports, concerts, and theater events, visit TicketSmarter.com or on the app. TicketSmarter, it's a smarter way to buy tickets. All right, Aggies have only made 1 out of their last 7 field goals. They've gotten some free throws here in the second half, but overall, it hasn't been a pretty offensive output by Utah State, but yet they still lead by 12, as defensively, Utah State has been good here in the second half as well.
Yeah, this, with the 2 losses, with the loss to San Jose State, you want to come out, you'd hope to come out and make this a showing where you're like, we're still a dominant team. We still can win games like this in a dominant fashion, and hopefully they can still do that the last 13 minutes of the game, but it hasn't shown that thus far.
44% from the field for both teams. Utah State 18 of 41, Air Force 15 of 34. Aggies 6 of 16 from the three-point line, 38%. Utah State has held Air Force to 31%. Air Force, a really good three-point percentage team on the season, holding teams from the three-point line to 29%. But however, in Mountain West Conference play, they have given up 35% from three. Dan Akin with Utah State leading by 12. Ball deflected out of bounds, stays with Utah State. And Max Shulga will inbound. Bairstow, Akin, Shulga, RJ, Idle-Rock, and Stephen Ashworth are your 5 Aggies on the court right now. Inbound to Ashworth, guarded by Murphy. Akin sets a screen, leaves it for Bairstow. Bairstow to Akin on the left low block. Swings across court to Idle-Rock. He'll take that 3 and miss it. And the rebound pulled down by Petrides.
That's a good shot, though. It goes inside out. Idle-Rock was wide open, ready to take the shot. Those are the shots you'll live with.
Vanderswag into the game for the first time here in the second half. Hands to Murphy. Murphy outside the three-point line. That pass deflected away by Ashworth. Goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Air Force with 14 seconds on the shot clock. 12:47 left to go in the game. 51-39, 12-point lead for the Aggies. Murphy inbounding. Shulga defending. Looking for somebody to clear. Waiting. Finally slips it to Becker. Becker outside the three-point line with 10. Hands to Murphy. Murphy working right side. Bounce pass back. Layup. Missed. Tipped around. Controlled by Air Force. 3, 2, 1. Miss on the jump shot by Heidbreder. And here comes Utah State. Leaving it for Shulga is Ashworth. Shulga bowling his way into the lane. Can't finish on the 5-foot jumper. Akin with the rebound. Hands to Idle-Rock. Idle-Rock driving. Spin. Leaving back for Ashworth. Back up top to Idle-Rock. 15 seconds on the shot clock for Utah State. 12:15 left to go in the game. 10 seconds. 9 seconds. Shulga takes a mid-range jumper and knocks it down. Max Shulga has got 18 points on the night tonight. 4 of 12 from the field.
Yeah, that tough, hard-nosed shoulder into the defender step back is really difficult to guard, and he shoots that consistently.
Petrides gives it back to Becker. Becker then to Murphy. Murphy driving against Akin. Tries a underhanded layup against Akin and misses it badly. And here comes Utah State. Shulga to Idle-Rock for 3 again. That one is missed. And here comes Petrides picking it up in transition and wants to run and runs over Ashworth. Offensive foul. No, they will call Ashworth with the block. Said he didn't get set.
It looked like he anticipated that well. But
Petrides gives it to Heidbreder. Heidbreder back to Becker. Does take that 3 and knocks it down from the left wing.
That's what makes it hard. They space well.
Air Force had only made 1 out of their last 8 field goals before that. Nice 3. And Becker's got 8 points on the night tonight. 3 of 12 from the field. It's his second made 3 of the night. Ashworth driving against Becker, slings it back to Idle-Rock. Idle-Rock in traffic and traveled with it. Good job by Murphy getting a hand on the ball, forcing Idle-Rock to try to shuffle his feet to regain position, and he gets hit with the travel.
Yeah, those are the possessions where you kind of are just dribbling around the top of the key. You want to get it in and out to get the defense out of position.
Air Force on the night tonight, 5 of 14 from the three-point line. I believe that's their first 3 made here in the second half. Driving is Vanderswag, then hands right back to Heidbreder. Nice give and go, and his layup is missed to the lane. Slipped it to Becker, and then Becker's passed to Heidbreder, but he couldn't finish on the rim. Idle-Rock wants to drive, reverse layup up and good. Idle-Rock put his foot on the gas and said, let's go. Aggies lead by 13, 55-42.
I think the Aggies shown during this game, during missed shots and turnovers, if they put pressure on the rim, Air Force has a really hard time stopping them.
Heidbreder into the lane, gets the floater to go over Ashworth, cut the lead back to 11, 55-44. Ashworth working left to right as both offenses trying to get back into a groove here. And to Ashworth. Ashworth will take the long three, miss it from the right wing. Petrides pulls down the rebound, hands over to Heidbreder, and the Falcons have a chance to cut this to single digits again. Dorius can't get it to go off the glass, and the rebound pulled down by Petrides. All right, 10-point game, and Air Force will try to cut it to single digits again. Carter Murphy working baseline. As we mentioned, 11 on the night. Long three by Becker is up, missed, and the rebound pulled down by Dorius. So after a couple big makes by Becker, he's missed his last two from three, and the Aggies lead by 10, 60-50. Ashworth, guarded by Murphy, entry pass to Dorius. Dorius has the ball knocked out of his hands from behind, goes out of bounds, and it'll stay with Utah State when we come back. 18 on the shot clock, Aggies lead by 10, 60-50. 7:12 left to go in this one on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Welcome on back. It's Aggie basketball from Learfield. Utah State leads by 10, 60-50. Aggies have led by as many as 14 here in the second half. Air Force has been able to trim it to as little as 7. But right now we sit right there in the middle at 10, 60-50. That's your Aggie scoring summary brought to you by your Utah Pork Producers. Visit utahporkproducers.org for more information. All right, again, 7:12 is a ton of time left to go in this game, and Air Force has shown the ability to shoot the three and get themselves back into a game. Even though it's a 10-point game and Air Force is a slow-tempo team, it doesn't feel like this game is even remotely close to being over.
Right. And I think if a couple of shots that Air Force has missed have gone down, this is a closer game. So it's not like they're not getting the looks that they want. It's just a matter of finishing for Air Force, and Utah State needs to find a way to contain that, to give them harder looks just in case those shots start falling.
Trevin Dorey's career high 13 points. He's also got 7 rebounds, so a few boards away from a double-double. 7:12 left to go. Officials saying there was a reset of a shot clock. Should not be reset. They move it down to 18. And here comes Max Shulga to fire up the inbounds. Shulga looking for Funk. Instead, trying to throw the alley-oop to Dorius, who skies, not able to get the shot off, but able to at least get the inbounds. Hands over to Ashworth. Ashworth, a pass deflected away and stolen away, and a good foul by R.J. Idlerock on Carter Murphy. That will send Air Force to the line on a front end of a 1-and-1, but it would have been an easy bucket going the other way.
Yeah, that was a heads-up play by R.J. on that
Actually,
one.
no, that's the 16th foul, sorry. So the Aggies had an extra foul there, and even better, smarter move by R.J. then on the foul. The old Euro foul that the NBA is trying to do away with helped Utah State on that one.
Right.
Ethan Taylor, nice look down low to Carter Murphy, who lays it up and in, and it's an 8-point game, 60-52, and the Aggies are just getting backdoored here in the second half. Shulga, cross-court pass to Ashworth. Ashworth behind the three-point line, back to Shulga, down low to Dorius, good look, and he throws down the one-handed dunk.
Yeah, that was good, strong play. Finished over the defender and get this crowd into it. That's going to be helpful for the Aggies.
62-52, back to a 10-point game. Now the Aggies need to get some stops on the other end. Air Force has made 5 out of the last 7 field goals to stay close in this game. Ethan Taylor on the right wing. Hands over to Murphy, straightaway three, no good, and a fight for the rebound. Shulga quickly gives it to Funk. Beautiful job by Shulga tracking down that rebound. Funk slings it over to Ashworth, nearly lost it, gives it back to Funk. Funk on the left wing, gives it down to Dorius. Dorius has positioning and lays it up and in. He's a redwood in the forest, and he's got great looks, and he's knocking him down. Trevin Dorius, what a night tonight, 17 points. Aggies up by 12, 64-52. Petrides is going to be fouled by Idlerock on the drive. Petrides is going to go to the line for a 1-and-1. Atkins going to check into the game here, as well as Sean Bairstow.
Those easy shots coming from Dorius are really helping the Aggies get momentum.
Dorius is going to check out. He's out of gas. Atkins going to check in, but I imagine Dorius's time on the bench probably won't be lengthy.
No, I wouldn't leave him on the bench for long. He's the one that's starting to give us some momentum.
Petrides made his first 5 free throws, missed his last one. He's 5 of 6. He's got a front end of a 1-and-1 here, and he gets the friendly roll, rolls it in, and earns one more free throw to get this game back to 10, or for a chance to get this game back to 10. It's 64-53 with another free throw yet to come. Petrides knocks it down, and he's got 9 points on the night tonight. Most of those coming from the free throw line. He's 7 of 8 from the line. 64-54, 10-point game. 5:42 left to go in the game. R.J. Idlerock up top to Akin. Akin then to Bairstow. Bairstow up top to Funk. Funk guarded by Murphy. Down low to Shulga. Beautiful pass, lays it up and in. That's Utah State giving Air Force a little bit of a taste of their own medicine.
That's right. That's right. Running some scripted plays, waiting for the defense to make a mistake, and then finding the open guy.
66-54. Aggies go to the crowd, say, let's get into this. Let's get a couple stops. So we reached the 5-minute mark here in the second half. Taylor comes around the screen, leaves it to Heidbreder, then back up top to Becker, slings it left to Taylor. Taylor tries to drive. He's got a one-handed dunk as the lane opened up, and Ethan Taylor throws it down with one hand, and it's back to a 10-point game, 66-56.
Yeah, that one-on-one defense you need to have some help side there. Off-ball defense needs to be aware of what's going on.
Aggies and Falcons swapping buckets here. R.J. Idlerock had positioning, forces it up and misses it. It was open for a moment and then collapsed and thought, I still want to get that shot up. Taylor for 3, right wing, no good, airballed it. And the crowd is going to let him know about it. Aggies quickly in transition. Shulga then brings it down and slows it down. 4:22 left to go in the game. Aggies up by 10, 66-56. Shulga driving. Shulga leading it for Akin. Two-handed dunk. 12-point game, 68-56.
Yes. Shulga's doing a lot for the Aggies tonight. Finding open players, making great shots, make great plays.
Shulga with 23 points on the night tonight. He's got a career high. Petrides leaves it back. Becker is going to take another 3. That's going to be way short, and Akin pulls down the rebound. Ball poked away, and Petrides has the steal. Hands back to Carter Murphy. He'll take the mid-range jumper. He misses that. Tipped out, and Akin controls it. So Air Force got the steal, got another opportunity, but couldn't get it to go. And Utah State will slowly bring the ball down the court as Shulga crosses the timeline.
And that's what I'm saying. Aggies have been the benefactor of a couple missed shots from Air Force tonight.
Shulga takes the straightaway 3. Yes! Oh! Max Shulga with 26 points on the night tonight. 71-56. Aggies' largest lead of 15 in this game. Heidbreder against R.J. Idlerock, rotates it left. Murphy wants to drive on Akin, gets on the baseline, slips, still keeps his dribble alive though, composes himself on the right low block. Spins around Akin, in trouble, bounce pass to Taylor, takes the 3, no good. Akin pulls it down with 3 minutes left and the Aggies up by 15.
Yeah, that was great defense. Akin stayed down, stayed disciplined, making pass out for a contested 3.
Air Force, after being so hot offensively, has now missed their last 4 field goal attempts. Aggies running clock, hoping to get their 20th win. Akin down low, pump fake, fouled at the rim. He'll go to line for a couple free throws. How about Max Shulga tonight? 26 points, 7 of 15 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3, and has made all 8 free throws. What a night for him. That brings us to our under 4 timeout. Aggies up by 15, trying to park the car in the driveway when we get back on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. (71-56), Aggies lead by 15 with 2:43 left to go in the game. So Utah State, if they can hold on here, pick up their 20th win of the season, and then Nevada rolls into town. What a game that was in Reno. I know a lot of people look at that and said it was a 10-point game, but Utah State actually led by 2 with about, I want to say 6 or 7 minutes left, and then it was a blitz by Nevada, went on a 16-0 run at that point and really put the game away at that point. I know the Aggies have been angling for another showdown against a really, really good team. Not a lot of tickets left in that one, so make sure to go to UtahStateAggies.com.
No, I think the Aggies have shown that they can go toe-to-toe with any team in this league and push them to their limits, so I don't think they're going to be any one team's going to want to face them in the tournament.
Dan Akin shooting some free throws. Free throws brought to you by America First Credit Union. Dan Akin steps up to the line for 2 free throws. Aggies lead 71-56. Air Force has gone scoreless over the last 2 minutes. Akin, free throw is good. 72-56. Remember, the next Aggie Coaches Show with Ryan Odom will be on Thursday, not next Monday, but next Thursday, February 23rd at 6 o'clock at Ruby's Pizzeria and Grill, 14th North, 795 East in Logan. Make sure to stop by, claim your free appetizer. Ruby's proud host of the Aggie Coaches Show. All right, both free throws up and good. Aggies lead by 17, 73-56. Ethan Taylor slings it back to Green. Aggies want ice cream. Get to 75 to get your ice cream. Long three is up and knocked down, as that was Heidbreder, who now has 13 points on the night tonight. 73-59, down to a 14-point game with 2:27 left to go. We'll go ahead and keep it here, Gary. There's 14-point game, 2:27 left. I don't want to say it's over, because it certainly is not. We've seen crazy things happen from time to time. But this is kind of an interesting point as a player when you've got a sizable lead, but not an insurmountable lead, and making sure you hold your composure and do what you're supposed to do down the stretch.
Yeah, and I think this is a chance for the Aggies to say, we can keep the foot on the pedal, foot on the gas, and just keep putting the pressure on these guys to make sure they're not going to inch their way back into this game. And that's something that I think will be useful for the next 2 or 3 games, that they can find a way to just keep constant pressure on teams without have some mental lapses or some mistakes to allow them to make teams feel like they have a chance to win. And I think that'll build some confidence for them.
Heidbreder and Murphy both leading the way with Air Force with 13 points. Max Shulga, career night, 26 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. And Trevin Dorius, a career high 17 points and 7 rebounds.
And that's the thing with Shulga too. I think that he's such a versatile player that he can do this consistently.
Inbound as the Aggies break the press. Ashworth needs to get rid of it. Hands to Bairstow. Leads back to Ashworth. Now to Shulga with the left wing. Air Force now drops off with 17 seconds on the shot clock. Hand back to Shulga, who's just been fantastic tonight. Comes around the screen, steps back. Will take the three. Yes! He can't miss tonight. Max Shulga, 29 points. His 5th three of the game. Aggies up 76-59. Minute 56 left to go.
Aggies look out a little sorts defensively. They're not quite know where position they're supposed to be in.
Heidbreder, long three, knocks it down right wing. Heidbreder starting to feel it. Aggies hope it's a little too late. Bairstow drives. Bairstow throws it down with one hand. Akin was there, but Bairstow's like, I'm just going to go ahead and finish this. 78-62, 16-point game. Now the Aggies are putting on a show. Carter Murphy on the left wing, hands to Taylor. Taylor drives, spins, has Green open down low. Green misses the layup, gets his own rebound, and fouled on his way back up. That'll be Corbin Green stepping to the line. And he will shoot free throws. 60% free throw shooter. He'll have 2. Aggies lead 78-62. Stepping up to the line, 2 free throws. Here comes free throw number 1 for Green. It is up and it is good. 1 more coming up. Marcel McCrary set to check in as well for Air Force. Green had a bucket earlier in the game. Now he's got 3 on the night tonight, as well as a rebound. 1 more coming up. And it is up and it is good. 2 for 2. Nice stroke for the young man. Knocks them both down, and the Aggies lead by 14, 78-64 with 1:19 left to go in the game. Inbound to Shulga, contested. Slips it over to Ashworth. Ashworth easily crosses the timeline. Petritis is there to try to harass him, but Ashworth gets back to the U-State logo at midcourt. Ashworth now to Bairstow. Back to Ashworth. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Air Force trying to do everything they can to harass the Aggies, but Utah State handling it well. Ashworth slings it back to Bairstow. Bairstow driving. Bairstow picked up by Petritis. Into the lane, leaves it for Akin. His floater is up and good.
Aggies just probing, patient, find a good, Bairstow finds a good look for Akin.
Green on the left low block for Air Force. Utah State leads by 16, 80-64. Petrides driving up against Bairstow. Can't get it to go, but Bairstow gets hit with the foul, and Petrides will have himself a couple more free throws. There's your winning team, losing team chant for Utah State. Petrides trying to get to double figures. He's got 9 points. A couple free throws will certainly get him there. Really impressed with this young man, too. Makes his first free throw. Air Force started 4 sophomores and a freshman. They're going to be a problem in the Mountain West Conference.
I agree, and I think I like his game. He's tenacious. He's level-headed. He's consistent. I mean, that shows a lot of maturity for a player as young as he is.
1 for 2 from the free throw line. Made the first, missed the second. Aggies have about 9-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. So Max Shulga near the midcourt stripe will just sit and run as much clock as he possibly can. And he will be fouled, and this is going to be good free throws here for Max because he has a chance to get to 30. Right now at 29 points on the night tonight. And it'd be great to see Max get 30 points on a career night for him.
Yeah, that's quite an accomplishment. It's not easy to get to 30 points in a basketball game.
Well, unless you're Gary Wilkinson.
Let's remember it that way. I'm not quite sure it actually happened that way.
All right, Shulga will have the front end of a 1-and-1 here, and he missed it. Oh, man. 1 point away from 30, couldn't get it to go. Rebound, pulled down by Air Force. Petrides outside the three-point line. Leaves it for Green, nearly stolen away. Green doesn't want to shoot the three, instead hands to Taylor. Taylor with 5, 4. Back to Taylor. Taylor with 1, and will put up the shot at the buzzer, and no good. And that's how it ends. Utah State